What is going on today, guys? Welcome back to DC Unplugged. And maybe you've been thinking, I really love my GTRv2, but maybe it could do with a little bit of brakes. Well, on today's episode, we are actually going to be fitting Zoom hydraulic brakes to this 2022 GTR. I'm gonna show you how.
Perfect.
Okay guys, so going back in time, we are going to now install that hydraulic brake setup. So I'll bring you back over here and I'll show you the tools required to fit the hydraulic brakes. So guys, these are the tools that you'll be required to fit the hydraulic brake kit. Unfortunately, I've used these Allen keys that many times, I've actually rubbed off what size, so unfortunately guys, I can't actually give you the right size of Allen keys, but just bear in mind that you will need a Allen key kit, like a set. So you need Allen keys, some pliers that'll help pull the cords through. Pair of scissors actually, these should come in your brake kit. I'll show you how those work in later on in the video. And of course you'll need your actual brake kit. Actually I forgot something, you'll also need I think that's a 8mm spanner to tighten those nuts up. So including a 8mm spanner. So obviously this is the brake kit. You've got your left and right, and then obviously your back and front brakes, and the lines, one's shorter, which will be the front, and the other one's longer, which will be the back. So first and foremost guys, we're actually going to start down the bottom here. Now a good handy tip is to probably undo this one here, which holds the cable in place, before you actually take this off. It's just going to help you later on, which you'll see in just a second, so let's undo that. Just loosen it off like that. And now for the main bolts that actually hold the caliper in place with their razor. There we go. There's a couple of zip ties removed as well, guys. Yeah. So just moving that out of the way, this will then be able to slide out. And there's your caliper. Now the reason why I told you to undo this is because now you're actually able to turn this out, so you can actually pull this cable through. So for that, you just unscrew this little bit up here, all the way out. Just like so. And now that cable can easily go in and out, and we're going to twist this one all the way out too, just enough for it to be able to go from behind here, and we can just slide that cable straight through. And just kind of yank that off somehow. There we go. So you won't be using that again anyway, so just pull that off and slide this down, just in case you want to use it again, but I don't think you'll be doing that. Yeah, so don't throw away these two bolts, guys. Handy tip, those bolts that sat in here, because you'll need to bolt those on for the caliper. So don't get rid of these. Put them somewhere safe so we can get back to these. So now that we have taken the caliper off, we're just going to find out which one of these calipers obviously is for the front, so we can just quickly retrofit it. So let's move these out of the way. Pull these two out. You'll see if you grab these two cables, you'll find that one of these is shorter, which is this one here. And that's going to be our front cable. Awesome, let's go fit it. Yep, so guys, so coming back down here, the brakes do have this little stopper in there, just to stop the calipers from closing up on you if they're getting moved around and whatnot. So we just simply pull that out. That's that little stopper there. And then we're going to move it over here for test fitting. Now using those two bolts that I said to keep hold on to, simply bolt it in, just lightly, we don't have to tighten anything down. There we go. So I'm not too sure if you can see that in the picture there, but that's still kind of loose, so we can move it around a bit. This is all loose, so we can move the hydraulic brake around a bit. That'll all make sense in just a bit, but for now, let's get rid of this and try and feed that through. But first we've got to feed and probably cut a couple of these zip ties off so we can feed the cable, this hydraulic cable back through and try and get it to go through without it. So moving up to the top, guys, we're going to just take the grips off and the lever off so that we can fit the hydraulic one onto there. So let's do that, and I'll just fast forward it because, well, it's pretty simple. There's a bolt underneath there, and yeah. Well, that wasn't fun. Definitely take your have your wheat bix before you do this. Okay, so after that little bit of struggle, we've put it back on the stand for the time being, and we are going to try and start tackling pulling the cable through, because that is actually quite a difficult task. So I've basically got to try and follow this cable all the way through while trying to lift it through and feed this one through at the same time. So it's easier to kind of follow where it already sits rather than try and push it through and make a new hole. So yeah, we'll try and do that. Okay, so as you would have seen then, I just fiddled with it and got it through. You can probably see down here, it's not actually put away. I'm not going to do the zip ties till at the end of the video, until we've worked out everything. But you would have seen me playing around with the bars just then before, and it's pretty much to make sure that this has enough slack so that when you full lock, that one, it's not going to get in the way, and two, there's still a bit of movement, and that's pretty much where I'm going to put my end zip tie. So to make sure that that's not going to go anywhere or get caught against anything and have that split and my brakes fail on me. So again, guys, here's that 8mm spanner. So just 8mm spanner. Probably try and do this one upright so none of the liquid leaks out, because these have all been pre-bled. Put on the little rubber cap first, the little rubber seal first. Then you want your nut with the thread facing towards the end. This little guy here, that's your sealer, so you want to put that on last, because that's going to be the first thing going in there. So what I like to do, guys, is just get that brass fitting nice and flush with the end of it, so when you pull that nut just there across and you go to put it in, it should seal that seal in the brake lever itself really nicely. So yeah, let's do that. Put the taper in, bring that nut up, get your 8mm, and be very careful not to cross thread these, guys, because pretty much once you cross thread this is game over from here. So just be very gentle and very cautious. So guys, pretty much the same as before, but on the back, so exactly the same as the front. You're just undoing these two bolts here, and remember to loosen off that back one. So we'll just do that now. Now I must say this scooter's looking pretty smart now with those hydraulic brakes. So I'm just going to fix up all this stuff. Actually, you know what? They are actually pretty well. Oh, that feels nice. You can feel they're going to be really. Oh, these are going to be so good on this. Oh, I can't wait. All right, cool. So I'll get you down lower. So guys, we're just going to show you on the front here. So we've got the front hydraulic brakes there. Obviously, I haven't finished doing the zip ties yet, but that's just for final finish. But we're just going to try and get this front caliper aligned. So you'll see here when I pull the front lever, that caliper moves ever so slightly. That's from where we left it off before to leave it nice and loose. The reason why I did that is that's going to help us align that caliper. So what we're going to do is we've got this Allen key here, which is the exact same bolt size for those bolts, which we're going to tighten here. So this is those bolts that we need to align. So what we might do first though, I've just noticed, is we'll tighten up. This is brake caliper adapter. So we want to tighten it up nice and tight, because all that is just the bracket that actually holds the caliper in place. And this top part here that the caliper bolts to is our alignment. So just tighten that caliper bracket up. So what we want to do is we want to tighten these two top bolts here. There's one at the bottom, one at the top. Same as the bolts for here. So the Allen key, we're going to use it to tighten that up while also pressing in the brake. So if we do that, let's get a couple of pumps, make sure the fluid's in there. Yep. Just want to get it so it just kind of touches, just enough. About there. We'll move to the back one, or bottom one I should say. Now this is just an easy and quick way to get it as close as you can to alignment, like to basically get the caliper to be dead center. Okay, now releasing that brake. Now if I lift this front up, it shouldn't, but there's always final adjustment. But yeah, this shouldn't actually rub now, so if I grab this scooter, lift it up, and we've got ever so slight bit of rub. That could because of a slight warped disc, which it does sound like, but we've pretty much hit our center. So that is now ready to go. Well, there you go guys, that's the wrap on the how to DIY install GTR hydraulic zoom brakes to a 2022 GTRv2. So that's going to pretty much wrap it up. The next video will be us, I'll pretty much have this all tied up and looking a lot more prettier, and we'll take it for a test ride and we'll find out exactly what it's like to ride with hydraulic brakes and what I think about it. So stay tuned for that, as well as these brakes are actually currently an option to fit from Bikes to the City as a option to be fitted out to these scooters now. So the 2022 GTR now comes with hydraulic brakes as an option to be fitted to your scooter. So they don't come out with it from factory, you have to option to have the hydraulic brakes fitted. So in my opinion, from a little short kind of, I just moved a little bit, already I feel that it's very, very good. So stay tuned for that, and that'll be in our next video. Riding this very, very nice looking GTR with all the bits of red and stuff like that, and now we've got even more, which is really, really nice. Obviously goes along with that typical Dragon black and red, or the grey and red, so it's really nice to see and it looks really good. So can't wait to actually test ride this and give you my thoughts and feels. So I'll obviously have yous on my head and with this little mic on, so you'll be able to come on for the ride and hear everything. So, but yeah, so this is now the The 2022 GTRv2 now comes with a factory option to have hydraulic brakes fitted at Bike Scooter City. So if you guys are interested, obviously call or email Bike Scooter City. It's all on their website, and get in touch to see if you're interested in doing this hydraulic brake kit yourself. Obviously you can buy the kit and you can do it yourself. Otherwise, Bike Scooter City can also do it when you purchase your GTR and you want to have the hydraulic brakes fitted. So pretty much the exact same brakes. It is on a Lightning, so if you feel the Lightning brakes are nice on your test ride or whatever, then obviously you'll like it on the GTR as well. So, but that's pretty big news for Bike City. They're now doing a hydraulic upgrade for the GTRv2, which is pretty cool. So I'm pretty stoked to be able to announce that to you guys. So yeah, but plenty more to come, guys. If you did enjoy that video and that was very helpful for you, and maybe something you were thinking about doing in the future, please don't hesitate to like the video, subscribe, please, by all means. That obviously helps me out as well, and helps me bring content to you if obviously electric scooters are something that you're into. So, but yeah, guys, like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a safe ride. Cheers.